Hello everyone, good evening. Good evening. Thank you for watching. Hi everybody. Can I just check first? Can everybody hear me? Good evening. Today is a special episode. Special episode. I got invite super guest one. He'll be joining me in a bit. He's already in the waiting room. The special guest is already in the waiting room. Then I will do some basic introduction first. Then later I will invite him over, okay, to answer the few questions everybody is on everybody's mind today. So this is a new concept. I'll be doing Facebook Live late night interview with Ken Tay. I'll get very focused, very subject experts to talk about certain topics that only they are good at one. So ask the right person episode. So I do some basic introduction first, guys. Basic introduction. So at the stream, here you go. Hey, no. Like that better. So guys, I share with you the latest news first. Latest news today. Latest news. 5 minutes ago only. Malaysia extend by 2 more weeks, guys. So they extend by total 6 weeks. So they are 4 plus 6, 10 weeks already, guys. For us, sure we extend 4 weeks. Okay, right? At least our business, we know how to plan. So this is our latest news, just 5 minutes ago, only 5 minutes ago. So this can be a topic, guys, to follow up with your clients, because ours is 4 weeks, 2 days ago. Theirs is another 2 weeks to May. So another big news for today is the caveat lodge for Hin Leong. Hin Leong, his boss, his house sold for 27 million. So even in this downtime, I want to share with everybody that there are still a lot of good deals. For this GCB to be sold at 27 million, whether is it a good deal or a best buy, I leave it to investors to think about it. GCB at 27 million. Hin Leong. And quick one, last thing today. Last thing with our private home prices are only dropped 1.2% quarter to quarter, but that's of course doesn't include April. If April is included, then we actually know what is the true impact of circuit breaker. So today, the main concept for today, the main topic for today is Mr. Cijay Tew. Wait, I remove this first. Look at me first. Today I'm gonna invite CJ to talk about 3 topics. First thing, the current market outlook for Singapore. What we are experiencing and what we will expect. A very good outlook. He has a very good perception, very good analysis. Then question number 2. A lot of homeowners are concerned about this. How will our resale price be affected? Hi everybody. Hello Derek. Hi Derek. Thanks for joining me tonight. And lastly, this question all big bosses will have to address one. All big bosses have to address. Will the developers drop price due to circuit breaker? If developer drop price means we got better buys, right? But will developer drop price or not? Then is it worth it to wait for a developer to drop price? This is the 3 topics we will cover today. We welcome all questions. Please give me as many questions as possible, because we love questions. CJ and myself, mostly CJ will be answering the questions in the FAQ at the end of this segment. Very difficult to get big boss, big colleague to come on board to do this sharing. So thank you everybody. This will be available to watch later, but watch live can ask question, guys. I hope all your children are asleep. That's why we put it at 9 o'clock. If you all want it at 10 o'clock, you all leave a comment for me. Next time I do 10 o'clock live streaming. All right. Guys, can I get a wave of hi, so that not everybody can hear me? I know everybody is here watching me. Then we actually officially invite CJ to come on board and share. Come guys, can give me some love and likes. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Alicia. I assume Derek will give me some love and like also, Derek. Thanks. Not bad, not bad. Viewership 20 over, coming to 30. Come on, okay. CJ, are you ready? CJ, you can hear me, right? Can. Okay. I'll invite CJ over. Test. Let me see. CJ, can you hear me? Hey. Testing. Wait, let me see. Ooh. We have some issues. Or is it me? CJ, can you hear me? Let me see. CJ, can you hear me? Hey, but my side, I don't think everybody can hear CJ. Hey. Testing. I guess. Wait, let me see. Technical issue, guys. Must be patient with me. So sorry. We have some issues. Or is it me? CJ, can you hear me? Mute mic. Let me see. Test. CJ, can you hear me? But my side, I don't think everybody can hear CJ. I will re-invite CJ. Wait, let me see. Copy. Technical issue, guys. Must be patient with me. So sorry. We have some issues. Or is it me? CJ, can you hear me? Mute mic. Right, CJ, you rejoin again. Meanwhile, let me entertain the guests. I will re-invite CJ. Everybody, thanks for watching. Today, CJ will answer the 3 most important questions all homeowners in Singapore will be asking. Current market outlook, resale, and new launch. This is a very new segment. If it's very welcoming, then we'll get more sectors lah. I'm trying to get other industry experts as well. Commercial, new launches, anything, man. Anything under the sun. Yes. Good. Test. Can hear CJ already.
Can you hear me?
Can.
Loud and clear. Okay, that's good.
My very good friend and very good colleague.
Hello. I can't see who's online, so basically I just do a shout out. Thank you, Ken, for inviting, and of course all the audience who is online now. Although I can't see who is online.
You can chat them on your function side. You can chat with them.
Because I'm on the streamline, so I'm not on Facebook.
Okay, my side I can see. Let's see, Derek. You can see the comments by Derek.
Oh yeah, I can see.
Comments are welcome, guys. All comments are welcome. Any questions, please leave in the comment. We'll answer them later.
Sure. So what's the hot topic?
Today, the first topic we want to talk about is Mr. CJ. Please share with us the current market outlook for Singapore. Due to circuit breaker, has it affected us before and during, and what do you see after?
Okay, I think the general outlook for this year, so far for the first quarter, it has been very healthy lah. Other than the first quarter, I mean, right now we are just entering into the second week plus for the circuit breaker, and of course with the extension, I'm very sure a lot of people are concerned about some of the impact that may come on later. I think that's on everybody's mind. So there's always 2 schools of thought. The first kind will be, of course, pretty pessimistic. We'll think of all the possibility of a recession that's coming. And when there's a recession to talk about, obviously they will be talking about good deals in the market. And in fact, some of the buyers out there currently are looking at a lot of good deals in the market. Okay, and they are giving a lot of inquiries, in fact, some offers. However, due to the circuit breaker, there's also not much viewing can be done unless they are acceptable, also called able to accept this kind of virtual viewing. Okay, and due to that, transaction volume is still having some, I think, challenges, I would say. Okay, other than that, there's nothing much to talk about at the moment since transaction volume is expected to be low at this current moment. Definitely for the positive people, will say that there will be a pent-up demand due to them not able to commit currently, and they are very excited to continue to buy. And there are many factors supporting this, why they are able to continue to buy, based on affordability, based on the right entry price, based on the potential transformation and the upside, etc., etc. But this will be the optimistic people who are looking for good buys or entry, reasonable entry at the moment. And we will definitely touch on both because there's always two schools of thought. Yeah.
Just today only, after our training, right, I went to speak to my buyer. Hey, offer leh. Really got offer. But
Yeah,
for
I'm not surprised.
but my valuation was 1.12 to 1.2 for the unit. Buyer offer 1.05.
Okay.
Buyer offer 1.05, but for seller consider leh. So really the market is there one. They virtually view also.
I think it kind of makes sense if you are a serious buyer, right? Thinking of upgrading strategies, right? It's always, to me, if you're buying and selling in the same market, there's no difference except for the fact that if it is a bigger purchase, right, you stand to gain more. Give you an example. If you're selling a 1.1 million, which is the example you quoted, right? 1.1 something, right? And then there comes an offer that is 1.05. How would you define this in terms of percentage? It's pretty low actually, although it's 50,000 on the table. But look at it on the other side, that if you're buying a bigger, let's say you're upgrading, you're buying a bigger, let's say a close to $2 million product, your offered price probably may even be more than this discounted price that you're giving to your potential buyer, which means potentially you go to 1.8, you're offering at maybe 1.7, which is 100,000 off. So these are all the possibilities if you are, selling and buying in the same market.
This morning also the news for Hin Leong, just now I shared the Hin Leong, right? 27 million. Those who don't own this TV, they tell me 27 million very expensive. Wow, very expensive. But for those who my high net worth side tell me, hey, wow, kill you. So it's different whether you're in the market or not, whether you know or not.
I mean, if you have that kind of money, obviously, 27 million is a good buy. However, if you are talking about general, 80% of people who are upgraders from the mass, so-called the domestic dwelling, right, or so-called the HDB dwellings, right, it is pretty much of upgraders where we are talking in the range of between maybe starting from 800 over 1,000 to perhaps about 1.5 million. That would be a good gauge in terms of affordability for this group of people based on the average household income.
I agree. Right, we go to the next topic, Cijay. How do you think the resale market will be affected because of circuit breaker?
Oh, in fact, I was doing some. Yeah, I was full day doing Zoom, right? And in fact, I was creating some slides for the upcoming seminar, right, on the Monday. And while I'm doing the research work, right, actually I come across some very interesting articles, which because today is a very casual sharing, right? So I won't be, showing the slides, but just to give you some updates on perhaps the figures that we are looking at, right? Let me just go to that slide that I'm looking at. Give me one moment.
Yeah, I think you can. You cannot share screen. Like your laptop, you can share screen. It's okay.
No, actually, I don't intend to share screen, but I just want to let you know the figures, because I want to keep the audience in suspense, so that they can come and view the webinar, and you can invite them to our webinar on Monday. It's happening 27 April on this coming Monday, and happening at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock evening.
Yeah, evening, yes.
8 o'clock morning, solid.
Yeah, so I was just looking at this household income growth over the past 10 years. Okay, the article was on 2009 all the way to 2019. So this has been a very, very consistent growth over the past 10 years in terms of our median household income over the spread of past 10 years. So meaning to say the people who are affected, of course, then this is a good past 10 years for a gauge. But of course, people who are so-called affected may be thinking, hey, but this is the circuit breaker and all these people are getting a pay cut, or their salary are affected, or their businesses are affected. No doubt, I'm not saying that they are not affected. What I'm saying is there is a good number of people who are actually having this positive growth. for the past 10 years, very consistently growth. And average growth is denoted at about 4.6%.
Higher than inflation, better than inflation.
Yeah, have to be higher, otherwise cannot survive.
That's why property price keep going up. I feel like. It's in tandem one.
Yeah, actually, I kind of like this kind of Facebook sharing because why? While I'm talking to you, I can still look at my research work.
Yeah, so you got support.
Yeah,
Won't my blank. You still got things to talk about.
Yeah, that's good. So what is the next question or how
The
the
next
resale
topic,
prices?
I
Okay,
think,
so
okay, Karen, please.
okay, so the resale prices, right? Like what I highlighted that maybe we talk about resale prices in two specific markets. Firstly, we will talk about the HDB market. Now, as many of you would have noticed, HDB resale index has been on the drop for the past 7 years in terms of the index itself, and which also translate to the price started to soften in that sense. And we just take an average of potential new estate, like example Sengkang Punggol, right? Previously, past 6-7 years ago, we can get property price at 550K on average. Today, we are talking about maybe 450 or 430K on average. Some may be lower due to the location, but on average should be about 430 for a 5-bedder. So with that, the HDB market, right, has already softened over the past 7 years. Okay, so this is number one, which means there's very little room for the resale market to be pretty much affected in that sense. So it's a good news in that sense. On the other hand, I'm not saying that the price won't drop, especially when we are talking about bigger ticket items. What do I mean by bigger ticket items? Example, like Pinnacles, okay, because it's like the iconic HDB in Singapore, right? Pinnacles. So Pinnacles between the peak price of 1 to 1 point close to 1.1 range, price, right, has also dropped probably to about $1 million or slightly less than $1 million right now. And for this group of first owners who may be thinking of cashing out, changing their portfolio or upgrading, I think it's pretty normal that they are able to accept maybe 900,000. So if you're looking at 1 million that dropped to 900,000, in fact, they are still making a decent sum of profit if they are the first owners. So things like that may happen, but the percentage in terms of the price drop will be higher compared to the 450,000 kind of properties. So which is why even in HDB segments, right, there's such a big difference. Okay, so moving towards the private property segment, again, private residential property, of course, similarly with the entry price of the upgraders market, which I highlighted earlier, which is around the range of 800,000 all the way to 1.5 million, we are not expecting a price correction that is double digit. Similarly, today, even if you want to buy, right, we are not saying that you are buying and then you will see a double digit growth. I personally don't think so, because in Singapore market is pretty much controlled in terms of the government's intervention, in terms of all the policy changes over the past few years. So to have a major correction is unlikely. Maybe some good deals, one off, two off, maybe yes. However, if you are waiting on the sideline and just thinking of hunting, like hunting a very good deal, right? Yeah, 榴莲 kind, 榴莲 it's pretty unlikely to happen, you see. So, but by waiting, what will happen? Then we also will touch this in further details, right? Of course, in our upcoming seminar, because due to time constraint, because I promise you to give you about a good 30 minutes and almost to 45 minutes range, right? So we still got to leave some time for answering some of the questions later, right?
Okay, come, we go into topic three. Okay, this one, a lot of people are asking if will developer drop prices due to circuit breaker. Wow, what will kill developer one.
You mean during the circuit breaker or thereafter?
During circuit breaker and thereafter, because they're waiting until durian haven't dropped yet. What's the durian? They're still waiting.
Okay. Anyway, we just had a couple of developers meeting. Even tomorrow we are also having some developers meeting. But I think most importantly, right, developers right now, okay, to begin with, okay, maybe I just share a bit on the global market. To begin with, in Singapore, property context, right, is pretty transparent. Meaning to say, how much the developer bought the land, how much is the average construction cost, how much is the profit margin, is pretty much transparent in the sense that you can, even as a layman, you can estimate. Okay, so with that in mind, the margin that we are talking about in developers' profit margin, right, is not as significant as the global investment if they are like, having foothold in other countries, where can be like maybe 50% to 100% profit or even in folds, okay, depending on which country. So when we talk about Singapore real estate market, right, when such high transparency is there, right, there's very marginal profit margin for developers. So even though they may be giving out some freebies or maybe some discount here and there, but I personally don't think it's going to be a big amount, because of a simple fact that they are not having a big profit margin, and it's all within the so-called within the reach of those upgraders market. So at this junction, if you are talking about this segment, because real estate is such a big topic, it can be a higher end segment. And higher end segment, we don't have so much so-called units in the market as well. Okay, and I was just reading this, maybe to give you another insight, right?
I'm listening. Like,
Yeah.
good news must share. Free good news must share. Insider news must share.
Okay, so to give you the good news, this topic. Okay, although this topic is because I'm answering the developer will drop price or not, right? First of all, if you are not buying as a consumer, right, developers also not buying, and furthermore, right, they need time to build. It's not overnight, and furthermore, with this circuit breaker, their construction worker also not working. Meaning to say, it may take even longer. When there's even longer period, right, to build, right, what does it mean? There will be a period in time where there's no supply. And this is what we call the trend of depleting stock. Now, in fact, when a lot of people question me, they say, hey, CJ, you know what or not? We are talking about, oversupply issue, and yet some agents are telling us things that, people are still buying and, there's no oversupply. How to prove this? Actually, they are all statistics proven. Meaning to say, in the past, I'm taking the numbers from 2007 all the way till last year. Okay, so we are looking at the statistics of the unsold inventory. Okay, and this unsold inventory is actually trending downwards. I repeat, trending downwards, not oversupply. So why is that so? In fact, okay, so when we look at this, right, the average, long-term average, meaning to say when I take 2007 all the way to 2019, right, the average, long-term average, right, supposed to have unsold inventory of 32,400. However, currently, right, based on the Q4, okay, Q4 of 2019, according to the data from URA, right, we are only at a balance of 30,500, which means we are below the average. That means to say there are times where we are holding 44,000, 40,000 unsold inventory. Yet at that point in time, nobody says it's oversupply. Why? The simple reason, because back then there's no policies to intervene purchasing. So that is one of the key reasons. But today, we have tons of policy. We have tons of intervention. We have tons of the four-letter backwards.
ABSD,
Yeah, right. But it's not bad because it helps the whole economy to be stable. Because what the government wants, right, and the objective is very simple. They want slow, positive growth. They don't want crash. They also don't want overnight double-digit growth. No, they don't want all this. So we are in a very, I should say, quote and unquote, a well-protected environment for investment. And in fact, based on the numbers of investment, right, because this is under the mortgage data, right, people who bought private residential is only 22% is under investment portfolio. The rest are actually purchasing for own stay. So the numbers is not huge. It's not like out of the proportion where 100% or close to 100% is talking about investment. We don't have that numbers also. Yeah, and with the policy of second property LTV lowering, and even the first property also lowered, there's a lot of things that there's no panic selling because they already put a huge sum of money. Yeah, and they are getting good passive income as well. So I'm not saying that everything, the outlook is going to be so good and everything. So I'm not so positive, but it's not that it will also crash. There's no way, because there's a lot of interventions that prevented all this from happening, and I applaud the government for doing that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. This is what I share with my all those nowadays Zoom meeting. Zoom meeting I also share all this one. Okay, thank you.
That's good. That's good.
Thank you for sharing. So now is the next sector. Thank you. Next sector for FAQ. Elizabeth got a question. Oh, the question answered already. This one. How about new condo? Here is
Wow, this
answered.
one, this one Elizabeth is all beside one.
Chill. My side. But you never marry your side, so it's okay.
Huh?
Okay, I got another question. This one, typically I always meet one. But I serve a lot of HDB upgraders. This question, CJ. This one. Serious. My Sengkang area, I stay in Sengkang. My HDB here is 20 years old one. A lot of
Okay,
them.
I don't know whether I can I invert this screen or not. Can I invert my video? I can invert. Okay. Okay. So this who is the one who asked this question?
All the homeowners I got in my area, all the 20-year-old condo, HDB. 2013 my 5-room flat can sell for 490 leh. 420. No, can. When it's reached 490, I will sell through you or buy new condo. You sell for me or you wait for me. Then serious, this is the most common feedback I get. This is the most common feedback. What do you think? How to answer this question? What do you think? This is a very common question.
Okay, so I'm going to show you something, right, that you may get the shock of your life. Okay, and I really hope that this person who asked this question, right, is still online, because if you're still online, the next thing that I'm going to show you, right, may get a shock of your life. Okay, so are you all ready or not? Because I said I don't want to show any slides, but since you all always like to see slides.
Hey, all of you come love, guys. I giving love already. Come, guys, love. Then
okay, you show me some love. I show you some slide.
love. I show love already. Hey, a lot of people watching. Nelson, Dennis, Jason also. Christina also watching. Wow, 亲戚朋友 all watching. Got love. Come, guys. Give some response. Support. CJ very seldom come for interview one. Hey, I think first one right, CJ Facebook interview.
Yeah, actually yesterday was supposed to be the first, but there's some technical error.
Interview. I think your first time.
Later must give me
a lot of love already. You love. Thanks, Ajo. Facebook love is the best.
Okay, so I'm going to show you something. Then I switch my camera. See whether because after I switch, I cannot see you. So you just tell me whether you can see clearly or not.
Okay. Me, I can see.
Wait. Video invert split.
I can remove my space. Give your video space. A bit zoom in a bit more. I can see.
Okay, so this one, right, as you can see, this is relate back to 12 years ago when we have this long holding period in order for the HDB price to be corrected back, right? Which is one of the reasons why after 6 to 7 years, right now it's about 7 years already, since 2013, 7 years of consecutive drop, right? It's going to be pretty much similar how long it may take to recover because of all the control, in terms of the policy changes and all this, right? And the next thing that I want to share with you is this thing. Now, this slide, right, was created in the first quarter of 2018. You can see the date here is created in the first quarter. When in 2 years ago, where we have already predicted that there's going to be a gap, we always in all seminars, right, that we always ask our HDB upgraders, right, to take immediate action simply because we know that it's going to be a gap. And those who have listened about why they should upgrade, right, is able to upgrade because right now, if they still did not upgrade, right, they may potentially be priced out. Take a look at this. This is today's market. And this is 2 years ago. As I mentioned to you, 2 years ago versus right now, the gap is already there. When 2018, we have already predicted this. So as you can see, right, from here, those people who are affected based on the example that I've quoted to you, right, this is a simple example of why the people who have bought previously, right, at an average price of 500 over 1,000, okay, average price 500 over 1,000 versus currently is about 420. So this is the example. Now, so coming back to this example that we have shared, right, I think this question being posted, can I wait for the HDB price to go up? Firstly, you can, but when you wait for your HDB price to go up, it will take many years. Okay, so that's the first thing, many years. Second thing is that even if it goes up, the next thing that is going to happen, right, is that you probably would have been priced out by the private property market, because the private property market is not restricted based on the HDB regulation, on income ceiling, on the, there's a lot more things that is being under the restriction, like 5 years MOP, and then a BTO will take even longer, and so on and so forth. So all these regulations, right, is not restricting the private residential market. Therefore, when the market start to move, now everybody knows this, that market comes in a 4 economic cycle. So similarly, right, there must be a dip. Then after dip, right, which is what we call the softening of the market. After the dip, right, will be the recession period. Okay, and the recession period will be super loud. Then after that, we'll have recovery, also called the recovery stage, right? And then we'll have the peak. So we are not buying the peak price because back in 2013, right, we have already seen a correction. And I can show you the chart again, but of course, as I mentioned, I do not want to show too many slides because that's not my intention. It's a casual sharing. I have so much proof that today's market, if it is going to be OCR at 1,007, 1,008, without the intervention of all the government policies, right? Easily, I would say, easily, there will be a 20 to 30% correction, which comes back to 1,003, 1,004. But today we are already seeing 1,003, 1,004 because of the intervention and because of all the regulations that's in place. There's very little room for it to go down. There's not a lot of positivity in terms of influx of a lot of foreigners that will boost up because there's ABSD also. So both ways is pretty already controlled in that sense. And going back to this question on should you wait, definitely we don't want to be in the position to tell you you shouldn't wait, but if you're asking for an opinion, right, by waiting, we have already seen 7 years of decline, and right now, due to this circuit breaker, which is a positive news for upgrader, that the within reach possibility is there. Instead of just now what I showed you, the chart where the gap may be even greater after the bounce back. Because remember, we are not in a recession mode. We have already self-corrected. So there's no recession mode we are talking about. Yeah, and if you are in the market just to look at, let's say I only love winter, and then the whole of my life, if I live 50 years, 12 and a half years of my life, I'll be happy. Then the 37.5 years of my life, I'll be very miserable. Why? Because I'm only looking forward for winter season. But you see, when we hold property, it's also for a long-term planning as a savings plan. And all these are being shared to a lot of so-called our consumers at large, for all our webinars, for all our seminars, and therefore they are empowered with knowledge. So just a simple question like that, I could have a solid 5 to 6 slides to prove to you that it's not advisable or not really wise to hold a HDB and wait to upgrade, especially when you want to upgrade because that's an aspiration. That's what you want. Why should you delay? Because unless you're telling me by delaying you will get a a good deal. But you know something, this is something that land cost is also very controlled in that sense, because government, when they release land, if the valuation is not achieved, okay, in terms of the bidder's price, it's not that you got a bidding they will let go. No, if it's not achieved in terms of the valuation price that the government
Then they close shop.
yeah,
Don't sell away.
no, they don't close shop. They still open the tender. After they tender, only got one, and they never hit valuation price. Sorry, we don't sell. They never close shop. They still open.
They're in control. They're in control.
They just say they don't sell. Oh, sorry, cancel. Just kidding only lah. Nothing happened.
Come back next year. Come back next year.
Come back again. Come back again.
So a lot of people are still trying to kill Yurian. The same concept. They're still trying to kill Yurian.
Yeah, I mean, if I put myself in the buyer's position, I'm also looking for houses to buy. So obviously, I will stand as a buyer's perspective. Wow, hey, I go and offer. I also offer lower a bit lah, that kind of thing. But before I do that, right, I must ask myself that I'm also an owner. Then if I'm an owner of a property, would I sell this kind of price? You must weigh, because you see, it doesn't mean that this circuit breaker comes in. 80% of the population selling.
Wow, then where got 80% to kill?
Do we see 1 million listings on Property Guru or whatever?
Server down.
No, we don't have panic selling. We don't have people overwhelmed with sellers listings, right? Even now, you want to get one listing, also not that easy. And don't talk about genuine listing who wants to let go. We just talk about listing. You want to get one listing, also not that easy today's market, right? If it is so easy, then everybody become property agents already, right?
I agree. It's not easy to become property agent. Exam is tough.
Yeah, not only exam, it's the entire career itself is tough, because it's ever changing. You see nowadays, last time is only like you know how to advertise and you know how to show a house. Okay, you're good to go. Hey, today you must be good marketer, you must be good presenter, you must know your technology, you must do video, you must do MC, you must do
influencer. Try to be influencer.
You must do influencer, you must be able to sing, you must be able to dance, you must be able to perform, you must be able to network, you must be able to write content, you become an editor, you become a videographer. Wow.
I'll do it. Sell house bo pian. Influencer,
no, but this is not a complaint. This is a compliment to all the realtors who are upgrading and changing the way with times they do the business. I really applaud them. Well done.
You also come on Facebook Live. I applaud you too. You know, Facebook Live. So thank you very much, Cijay. That was a very, very good sharing. That was just one question. Any more questions? I think that's about it. Thank you, Cijay. You come online for 45 minutes already. Thank you. I will leave the comment for your webinar. Your webinar details, I'll put in the comment section. So whoever interested, the 1,000 people watching, right? I think 1,000 people watching. Can look for details in the comment section. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Cijay. Thank you, everybody, for watching. That was very good sharing by Cijay. The webinar he was mentioning will be on Monday, 8 o'clock. The details I will share in the comment section. So I hope everybody enjoy this kind of very casual sharing, because like that I think it's easier for everybody to actually get more information. Because to make the right decision, I think the main thing is get the right information first Because my slogan is what? All you have to do is ask. You don't ask me, I cannot help. So all you have to do is ask. I hope this whole session has added value to you. This will be on Facebook, on YouTube. And thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate everybody for watching today. I'll be coming with more upcoming seminars, like this, late night interview. Then if there's anyone or any topic specifically you would like to find out more, do share with me. Private message me, leave a comment in this video. I'll actually work on it and see who is the best, ask the right person, who's the right person to ask on a topic you are concerned about. Because sometimes you ask me, I don't know but I can find the right person to answer you ma. I think that's the best way, and I can get the best value to you lah. Thank you very much, guys. The next session I'll work on. If you all find this session a bit too early, got people comment 10 o'clock one, then we can do 10 o'clock. We'll go from there. Ken, thank you very much for watching. All you have to do is ask. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. I'll see you. Bye.